Hopefully I've learned a bit from that one because I was a little bit emotional during that one. Did you watch that?
Mate, I saw it. I was literally like, I felt it with you. Like, honestly, you feel your emotions. Do you know what I mean?
There was a point, right? I'm not even lying, where obviously we could take the microphone away from us. We're mic'd up fully now, so we can't do that this time.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't need to start throwing punches.
I was do something.
Mate, you're saving sound this time. There's no happening to this chin to tail, lad. I'll tell you.
You know, though, what is going through a lot of people's minds out there tonight, Joe, and so do you, Jordy, because you know what it's like to have a friend in the ring who's going to get repeatedly hit and basically the other guy wants to knock him out. That's the goal tonight. I think that we can't understate that enough. People are looking to knock each other out.
Yeah, that's the difference, obviously, between a lot of people have been comparing real boxers to this. Some people are quite bitter about this event taken away from real boxers. I think real boxers should take some inspiration from this of what you can create when people care about you as a personality. So many boxers, they've got a lineal mind state of, we're just going to get where I am on boxing ability. Well, clearly, these lads are going to do very well out of this event because people care about them. So, if anything, and not only that, can I just say, we can't even get the two best heavyweights in the world in the ring together right now, and yet we can get the two biggest YouTubers in the world in the ring. So, no offense to any bitter boxing fans out there. You know, look at your own sport before you start complaining about YouTubers.
Boy, does that mean we're in for a real treat tonight. We've got a massive undercard. I know that some of these names are people who you would know for making ridiculous YouTube videos. Not necessarily punching, not necessarily boxing, not even necessarily anything sporting some of the time. And these guys have been training for months, making...
They're going to want to make a name for themselves.
Exactly.
Because we know that this is the biggest event in internet history, we're going to see lads who you might not have heard of before surprise you. And that's going to be exciting because I think in this list of names we've got in front of us, one person is going to shine tonight that you weren't expecting, and that's going to be fun. And there are some legit. There's an amateur MMA fighter on there. There's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt on there. There are people who generally are combat fans.
And as this undercard goes on, obviously leading down to the main event, we're seeing more and more and more talent, more and more time spent training. There's some grudge matches in there, aren't there? And it's comparable to the way that you felt with JJ, obviously last time, Joe, because people have Denise on you and Jay Swingler.
I think like naturally what happens, like even if there's not, I guess, a reason for beef or whatever beforehand, if one guy's saying, I want to beat you, and the other guy's saying, I want to beat you, that's a beef in itself.
It sort of mentally creates that competition.
So, and obviously, like we're seeing, especially like Anderson Gibb, Jay Swingler, it's making them turn a bit nasty towards each other.
That's the dark horse of this event. I feel like that's the one that people... there's a young audience coming with the Paul brothers, and some of those, that's when it points parents might watch it go. Because these are going to be quite violent, I think, these two lads. They're playing for keeps. Jay Swingler's come out and said, I'm putting 3 businesses on hold for this. I'm going to knock this guy out. I'm not putting them on hold for nothing. And Anderson Gibb, we watched him spar JJ in the Carl Lewis documentary, which I thought was very good. And you see that the lad's relentless. It's non-stop pressure. He's not going to give you time to pick him up. We're going to see someone who's just coming up. He's got a black belt in ballroom brawling, this guy, quite honestly.
Yeah, and a black belt in other things as well, but not necessarily boxing.
Pack openings on FIFA as well.
Yeah, exactly. And then obviously looking through that undercard as well, there are some well-known names in there. We were looking at JMX, who was on the undercard last time. He actually had quite an easy fight last time, didn't he? This one we're not expecting to be as easy, but for different reasons.
Coach Richard is a 100-metre sprinter, so the fitness that's going to come with that is on another level than what he had to deal with last time.
And you were speaking to his coach this morning, weren't you? You were speaking to the coach. And he was saying he's not very much time to work with him, but he does still have belief in title.
The thing for me is that like where JMX has obviously had the last fight, as though admittedly it was easy, he trained for that. He's trained for this one. It is that experience, being comfortable under those sort of circumstances that I think are so valuable. And I think with obviously Coach Richard only having 1 month to train, he can be fit, he could be an ex-Olympian, but it's a different story once you're getting like hit in the face in that sort of scenario.
And JMX comes from the same training camp as as JJ, so you know that the level of training they're getting is going to be high level.
Should also say this, because on our notes here it says he was meant to fight Ramel from TGF Bro. This is Joel from JMX. He was meant to fight Ramel from TGF Bro. He was meant to fight Halal Ham. These guys are much better paired up than they were last time because there was a much bigger field of guys to pick from. People were suddenly eager to get in the ring, and maybe, Joe, they didn't realise what they were in for.
Yeah, 100%.
They're wanting to make a name for themselves. What they don't realise is it's a much cushier number on commentary.
Those guys are idiots. I mean, really, are you as nervous as you were last year at this time? Do you remember what you were going through at this point?
That's the thing. At this point, right, I mean, obviously, the first thing is that everyone is different. We don't know how people take pressure. Obviously, like, for me, like, being in this sort of, you know, we're a couple of hours away for some of them, even like 30 minutes for others. It's almost like you've accepted it is what it is. We are here, it's happening. But how much of it is just convincing yourself because you've got to do it, and how much of it is genuine belief that you can actually win?
Is there a bit of you that creeps in that you're like, maybe I just pull an injury?
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't think anyone. I don't think it gets to that point because that's it. That's even more embarrassing. But like, the full acceptance of what's about to happen. It's just the belief, the genuine belief. Now we find out if it's real.
But if ever there was a cushy number, it'd be a cushy number with Harry Bow, and True Geordie is going to be well stocked with Harry Bow tonight.
There's some interesting names on this list we're looking at. Faye Sensei, I've seen him spar with JJ's trainer Vidal.
He's a mixed martial artist, isn't he?
He's an amateur MMA fighter, and he's a beast. I think it's the best.
Do you? How much?
Sorry, I literally look tiny. No, I look tiny compared to you guys.
Can we just clarify? Joe Miller is an average sized man. He's just sandwiched between a very tall Lawrence McKenna and just a wide, tall
mountain.
I've never man called True Geordie.
Can I ask Joe, have you ever had any fighting experience before you decided to pick up?
Oh no, absolutely not. Not even like scuffles in the streets, like nothing. So yeah, I mean, any experience at all. I mean, I'm not endorsing that, but any experience like that, I think it's useful.
Because it says here, obviously, Faye Sensei he started teaching MMA at age 13. So having that sort of experience, there's something about
his whole channel is about breaking down fighting.
Exactly,
and that's going to help.
There's something about, and you often say this to me when we're talking about UFC, we're talking about big boxing, professional boxing matches. That knowledge and the fact that someone can mentally break down a fight can make a huge difference when they step in the ring because they can rationalise things. It makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think that come the main events. When I was talking to Logan Paul on the True Geordie podcast,
huge podcast, really well shot as well. Really well shot.
He did say, I've been watching fighting for years, and he started dropping names of MMA fighters and stuff. And that gave me a little bit more confidence that this wasn't just a one-off him, as well as the amateur wrestling background that he's got. And he's saying, look, I understand how fights work. And I think it's fair to say that Logan was probably more of a fight fan than JJ was before JJ took on boxing.
But JJ, I'm told, is a very quick learner.
It seems that way.
He's picked up a lot in a very short space of time, and I think that's what's exciting is we're going to see how much JJ's come on as a fighter since he beat you, Joe.
100%. I mean, like, the confidence he must have taken from the fact that he went from doing nothing exercise related, turning his life around, winning in front of everyone against, you know, a lot of people were writing him off, and he did it. I think, you know, ability aside, the confidence and belief that would have given him.
There's something to be said though about, and I'm not saying that this is the case, but potentially overly confident because you win a fight, you're on top of the world, you're gassed up, you can't help but feel that way. He must have felt like the world champion.
Of course, I mean, and we can't forget, like, he didn't beat a world champion, he beat this Dosser. Do you know what I mean? Like,
don't put yourself down, man.
No, but you know what I mean? It's not exactly like, it's nothing extraordinary. But
you yourself would admit, you think Logan Paul is going to be a harder task for him.
Oh, 100%. Like, I look at it like this. Like, if someone said, like, Joe, you've either got to fight or spar JJ or spar Logan, like, I would feel a lot more happier sparring JJ. I don't want to go near Logan, personally.
Is it better the devil you know, though, for you?
No, I'm saying before. I mean, I just see, the way I see Logan, the aggression, the power, he is a fighter through and through. Before this YouTube thing, that's what would intimidate me. Do you know?
I remember some of the first Logan videos I see, and where he's had confrontations with people in the street, and guys getting out their car screaming in his face. His heart rate never seemed to raise a beat. Like, he just looked like, what are you gonna like? Yeah, and that I think he was top 5 Ohio State Division 1 wrestler, and
straight from the horse's mouth.
he comes grinding like that wrestling background is day to day, going one-on-one. You just can't get that in a couple of months, that experience that he's going to have. And even though it's a different sport, that must help him in this situation.
And throughout the night, as you build up to the big fight, you're going to find out more and more and more about these guys. You sat down for hours with some of them. Only some of it went out, obviously, but you sat down for hours with Logan Paul, hours with JJ as well. And you know these guys behind the scenes anyway. But the top of the card tonight is going to be kicking off in just a couple of minutes. Jizzy Jeremy versus Halal Ham, or Call Me Ham.
Ham has, I've seen some of his pictures from his boxing days.
How's he looking?
This guy, I want to say this in a nice way, because if you watch this back, he was in a really good shape back in the day, and he took boxing quite seriously. Obviously, I think he's become a YouTuber. With YouTube, it comes a lifestyle that it's not always the best thing for your body.
There's a lot of sitting around editing. I don't understand how you look the way you do, Joe. It's incredible.
But I mean, some people have got more time on their hands than others, Lawrence.
Obviously, so.
To be fair, I think that experience with him has got to help him. And he said his best sporting memory here, he was made captain of his school cricket team, but he couldn't play cricket. He was just from. I can't read that.
That's unfortunate.
He makes a lot of jokes that we're not going to be able to read out, but there was a funny joke nonetheless.
He is a controversial comedian.
He basically said he was,
Joe, how much do you think personality plays into the way that you box? Like, did you find your personality coming out in your boxing style?
No, and that is the issue, right? I think if these guys allow their big personalities to come through in their boxing, I think that is going to be helpful. For me, I feel if anything, I limited myself to I've got to be a boxer. I can't be like my outlandish sort of self. No, and I feel if anything, that held me back. I wasn't as relaxed. I was like very tense. And, you know what I mean?
At the press conference, you came out very strict with yourself. And the Joe Weller that everyone knew and loved on your videos is that crazy guy, always saying what's on his mind. But you seem to go inward. You were listening to music when you were running. You were trying to keep it as like robotic as possible.
It was quite noisy.
No, but honestly, like retrospectively, I think all of that was a load of cobblers at the end of the day. I don't think. I mean, it sounded cool. It sounded like, that sounds like what a boxer should do, but that didn't actually benefit me. Being all strict, being all formal, no. I need to be myself. Whichever of these guys can be themselves and be comfortable are the ones that do better. You know?
As we go down the path, we see guys who get more and more and more comfortable with who they are, basically, don't we? But big personality stats. We've got some of the stats on screen. You guys at home can see these. Thank you very much for tuning in, by the way. I know that you had to pay in order to get a YouTube stream. That was unusual for some people. It's fantastic that you joined us tonight.
Wow! Look at the weight difference.
Huge.
Is that a £50 weight? £50 weight difference.
But no difference in height.
So the reach, so basically, in theory, Jersey Jeremy is going to have a bit of an advantage in terms of cardio.
How much did...
He's carrying £50.
No, but genuinely, how much did the weight difference make a difference for you?
So for me, having to put on extra weight to sort of match up to JJ, I put on 5 kilos, don't know what that is in pounds, but look, it made me feel more sluggish. It made me feel slower. I didn't feel comfortable. £50? That's something else, mate. I mean, it will impact him, obviously.
But he's got the boxing advantage, so maybe it might even help a bit.
Maybe.
I mean, it's also about the kind of weight you're carrying as well, isn't it? You know, because you're still very much an athlete, Joe. You're still a guy who hits the gym.
Yeah.
It made a real difference for you to have that background already, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think more than anything, it's the conditioning. Like holding your arms up. Your shoulders burn. They really do burn. And if you haven't been, conditioning yourself, and your body's not ready to be in there for 3 6-minute rounds. Wait, how many rounds are they actually doing for this fight?
I think it looks like they're doing 3 rounds in 2 minutes.
3 rounds in 2 minutes.
Which is still a huge challenge. And you'll know this from training up there. You didn't just go, I'm going to go 6 threes all the time. You had to build yourself up to that. cardio doesn't instantly go as high as you want it to. We're not far away now from the ring walks. It's getting incredibly exciting within the arena. Not everyone's taking this in. Not everyone's sort of down.
You know, within a couple hours, this will be packed.
Yeah.
18,000 sellouts.
And the atmosphere slowly builds, doesn't it? And this is the very beginning of that. It's looking exciting at this point. We're about to see the first fight, which is Busy Jeremy versus Halal Ham. This is going to be good.
Let's have it, boys! Yes.
This is looking good. Wow. What a light show within the arena.
All over the lights.
Now,
Are you ready?
When that bass hits, you feel like
Inside my core.
this is very good. So last time we were in the Copper Box, which was obviously in London. Now we're in Manchester, an arena that's twice the size.
Maybe this is a different. Oh, to feel different the last time.
What do you think of the shape we're seeing Ham go in there? That's very Drizzy.
I mean, he looks good. He looks like, obviously, he's carrying power. Going against a much heavier guy, so he's going to need that.
Jeremy looks switched on there. He looks the other guy.
He's looking very serious, isn't he? Yeah. That haircut.
I guarantee this is going to be interesting and
He said it. And here it is.
This kid's a character.
He's wearing a Versace chain. He doesn't mess about.
Joe, you're a fan of WWE.
Yep.
This is as close as you're going to get the whole night to that.
He's got 63,000 subscribers on YouTube, this lad. And he's coming to make a name for himself.
And he's coming in at 5'7". I'll take a little pause there, just a few fist drops to the guys walking down the side.
Get a bit tired there.
You've got to keep that energy when you're in the ring as well. You can't just be the ring lord that gasses you out.
You've got to be zen, mate. You've got to be zen.
You've got to be, put it to this way, to a boxer, you've got to be able to walk to the ring. You know what I mean?
Very different entrances. This Halal Ham. He's soaking it in. He's having a little dance.
I like his glasses.
Yeah, I was just about to comment on the glasses. Oh, it turns around to the crowd. He is. Yeah. How does he come up with it?
I like the shorts. The gold on the shorts. I like that.
No one to open the ropes for him though. You'll notice he's a very, oh wow, a few words in his opponent's face there.
It's all going to get very real very quickly in a minute.
Yeah.
It's all a big show. But once that bell goes, the glasses are off, mate.
The glasses are off. And the glasses are still on at the moment. I hope he does take them off for the fight, because otherwise that first punch is going to be a real nasty one. The glasses have come off, just so you guys know. As you can see there, the chain also is removed.
I like that chain.
That's a nice chain, isn't it? Two boxers, both dressed very well.
Headgear is about to go on.
How different did it feel, Joe, when you were there and you were getting ready? Do you think the garb, the stuff that you're wearing out there in the ring makes a difference, makes you feel like a big man?
Yeah, I mean, I do believe that if you feel like you're looking and you're presenting yourself like a fighter and how you want to, that it's going to impact how you feel. So you can see both these guys, they've got all out with their outfits. The Versace print on Halal Ham,
Joe, you're quite a fashionista from what I can tell you. You don't want to pick off all
I
these
wouldn't have
items.
afforded that with 65k subs. It's amazing.
having a little chat.
Brian, you should try Barclays.
Genuine.
A lot of words being exchanged between the two.
We are set for free to the round of boxing. At 21 weighing in an official 165 pounds even. He hails from Dijon, France, on the stage presenting Drizzy Jeremy.
Well stuck.
23 years of age, he weighed in officially 260 pounds anywhere. He fights on Sun Paul Lincoln presenting Halal Ham.
Obviously.
Carrying a good very hard stone.
In charge is Gino Piccinino.
Referee tonight looks like a very traditional referee. Looking forward to seeing what he does as he gets the fights out there. We saw last time, Joe, there that sometimes there's a stopping. I wonder if he is going to be careful. These guys are amateur fighters. We can't forget them.
Yeah, obviously, like the referees more than anything got to look out for the safety of these guys. They're going to be going at it, but like you say, we saw a lot of standing counts.
Yeah.
Last time.
KSI's made a point that he doesn't want that this time. He wants to finish low.
Yeah, you've got to protect the fighters though as well. Haven't you? It's about safety as well.
KSI's thinking about that. No. And destroy.
This referee, of course, like I said, he looks like a very traditional referee, doesn't he? I like the look of the man. He's got that referee haircut.
Lawrence has got a lovely way about him.
He's got. So I've heard behind the scenes, Brian. Yeah. And obviously you can see both teams just buzzing around their fighter at the moment still. It's as if they should have done this.
I'm really interested to see how look, he rolls back the ears.
I reckon he's going to left. I reckon he'll win, but
Tension 2-2. The referee just gives them some final few words. He's saying, listen to me this evening. This one doesn't look like a friendly anymore, does it?
Very much in the zone now. The coaches would have said some last minute pointers just so it's fresh in their mind, like keep moving, keep the jab going, just last minute things so it's fresh.
Yeah. Did that help you, do you think? Well, I'm not being sarcastic on this. Round one. Let's say it was that. Early on there, allowed with a few punches. To the
allowed going in early. Technically looking a bit rough, a bit ready.
That was so bad.
Jeremy.
Like angry.
They're the first undercard.
See the power on the two of them,
Getting a lot of instructions early. Hard going for a body shot. Jeremy answers.
They're so bad.
Gets the respect there.
No.
Bit of hesitation there.
Last time we saw a lot early on in the fight, we saw a lot about footwork as well, didn't we? How important that was. One fighter here, much more significant with the amount of footwork you see.
You do raise Harry
I'm looking heavy on his feet.
No, you only go in for a hug, you don't run to tackle them.
No, you push them back to get ground to put them in the corner.
It's good from Jeremy.
Jeremy's looking much more aggressive here, isn't he? Yeah.
Moving around.
Like you give it a ground guy. It's that hard kind of.
A lot of body shot work from Ham there, but
He's not even defending it.
Joe, could you hear the words of your trainer from the side of the ring?
Nothing. I heard absolutely nothing.
Because on the commentary here, we can hear a lot of encouraging shouts from the trainers, who obviously got emotional investment in these guys. But it's really just going to be to make them feel better almost themselves.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, naturally, as a coach, I would have thought they're just trying to give as much as they can, but once these boys are in there, I think they're in their zone and they're just probably blocking almost everything out.
Jeremy breathing heavy already here.
Yeah.
Plants a jab on him.
Oh, they're locked up. There we go.
I think they're not really calculated here. They're coming in just swinging for the fence.
And they're already aiming for the
You wouldn't panic though if this was your first time in the ring, possibly.
Good shot by Hamlin.
You can hear both sets of trainers just shouting into the ring at the moment. Both of them just encouraging as they continue to lock up, and as fighters lock up, you see they get more and more tired, don't you?
Yeah.
At the end of round one.
I think that's what we gradually saw there towards the end of round one. They started big, heavy punches, and the movement sort of gradually went away as both guys almost came to a standstill at points, and I mean,
not the most technical boxing match we've seen, let's be honest, lads, but they're trying their hardest here.
The YouTube stars around the ring are beginning to take their seats. We've just seen
Chris MD there.
Chris MD,
the babyface assassin himself.
Yeah. And of course Alfie Days as well.
Controversial star in the YouTube community, Alfie.
A relevant person.
Yeah, he was like the last generation.
I almost said something there. You've seen slow-mo replays of these two guys. Who do you think had the better of the first round there, True Geordie, if you were one of the judges?
I would edge it to Jeremy, to be honest with you, but
I used to watch him.
the pressure of Ham did start to pay off towards the end a little bit.
Yeah, but you grew up when Alpha Days.
I thought Ham would be a bit more technical from his boxing days. He just seems to be winging it a bit here.
I mean, it looks like he's holding quite tight, nice guard. But the punches, when he goes to throw them, it's more of just a smother.
Yeah, there's no...
Do you know what I mean?
It's not he's planning anything really,
Yeah.
he's just walking towards them and throwing.
Getting those basics right is important though in fights like
100%.
this. Otherwise, if you drop your guard at any moment, you may be...
Right arm, overhand right.
Saw the sweat fly off his cranium there.
And Ham's
It's an onslaught!
He turned his back to him there to protect himself, and he needed to at that point.
Ham's shown what he's made of now.
The referee saying, no turning around, please. Because that technically in boxing, you're not really supposed to do facial opponent. Ooh, big right fist landing on the side.
Bad intentions from him.
Nah, but the other guy got hit.
There are 3 big right hands that have been landed on the side of Ham's head there.
Why is he
Taking a breather, the lads here. Gathering it. Left, right. He's chasing him down. He's really putting it on him. He's took a knee.
I don't think he meant to do that there.
And he's getting the silent count.
I got 2 light.
I think that hard shot.
Ham looks like he's getting aggressive now. He smells a bit of weakness.
Ham can't wait to get back in there as soon as the referee steps away and look at him. That mane of hair peeking out the top of his mask.
Oh, good shot from Jeremy!
Oof. And Ham doesn't seem to have recovered straight away there.
Stiff left hand from Jeremy there. Yeah, the hands are not up with the lads. This is... It's insane.
And as you begin to get dazed, you will begin to drop your hands. Your technique goes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We're going to see that a lot early on
There's
in
no
these fights.
technique being shown here whatsoever. It's all hot.
He's dead. He's not even moving his arms.
They're just knackered, bless them.
Are both of them realising here what they've got themselves into?
Oh, it's all hand right from Ham.
It's a lot harder than it.
Getting the body shots in.
Oh, you feed that through the back.
Just trying to impose his will on Jeremy. Jeremy staggers back and breathes heavy.
End of round 2.
I do feel like Ham was coming into his own there. He sort of almost sensed that, I think, one of those big overhand rights that had affected Jeremy and was going in.
The 50 pounds comes in handy.
100%. But then, like we saw as well, it was his cardio almost gone after that.
Yeah.
I think he got the fight was over, and then when he came back in, Jeremy landed a big punch on him, didn't he?
Yeah.
It took him off
It
guard.
was a good jab from Jeremy, if I remember correctly. He just walked in right into it. I mean,
He's chasing him there,
yeah,
isn't he?
but all it takes is one when you're running at someone that wildly, and that was it. The jab straight to the chin.
I can't hit anything. To be fair, he did counter it well.
This is chaos, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. Joe, as someone who's trained in boxing,
Yeah.
we will see the expertise go up throughout the evening, but these guys are brave to get in here in the first place, aren't they?
100%. I think that's the biggest thing. To have the bottle to stand in front of all these people and do what these guys are doing, like, you've got to respect it. 100%.
Third and final round.
Right. Who's going to make a name for themselves?
Good question. Round 2, round 3. I think it's round 3.
Looks set to wade in once again with those big swinging punches. Jeremy deals with it well the first time.
When Ham goes for his punches, he is leaving himself quite open though. Let's see if Jeremy can exploit that.
He's windmilling it,
Yeah.
but it's working to some extent.
Well, the worry, I suppose, is if he does land any of those and you're only countering them, there's nothing else, no power you can get into.
It's okay, it's like I did you doing 6 of them.
They both go into control there.
Coach is encouraging him
It's
to
the
do
final round. I feel like we need to see a bit more from both.
They're doing 6 or 9.
Well,
Here we go.
there, yeah.
Jeremy's holding on to him. Jeremy's talking to the referee now.
9 or something.
I only 6.
They're exhausted here, lads.
They're out on their feet, really,
He's not
aren't
going to
they?
get knocked out in a minute.
Poor guys.
I'm looking to make one count. And he does. Right, left, right. All the hooks.
He's gonna lose.
It looks like he's not crying.
Jeremy pushes him off. Jeremy
Jeremy.
doesn't look like he wants this anymore, to be
Nah,
honest.
it looks like he's had enough.
Yeah,
I'll be
Ham's
honest.
coming straight forward. He's not landing much, but Ham's definitely
Yeah.
It looks like there's a problem with Jeremy's head guard as well at this point. He does seem to be complaining about it, trying to adjust it.
Do feel like Jeremy's had enough.
Yeah, it's basically getting punched off him, isn't it?
Joe, you've got your arms crossed. Have you seen enough?
I mean, the way I'm seeing Jeremy look at the floor, he's not coming forward, he's physically walking backwards. I don't know.
Some body shots
I don't know.
again from Harlan. It seems mainly, true Geordie, that Ham has basically edged this because he's got slightly more experience and slightly more stamina at this point.
Yeah, he's surprisingly coming straight ahead.
Good guy for only 10 seconds to go.
Look how laid back he is
Yeah.
there in the corner of the ring.
Jeremy's just taking a chill.
There's an almost arrogance to the way that he's standing there for an amateur boxer, really, isn't there? I like that. I applaud that. Bit of showmanship, Joe.
This is it. He's going, he's windmilling. Jeremy trying to hold on, and it's all over.
End of round 3.
Surely Ham won that one.
Yeah, but that's the thoughts of True Geordie there, alongside Joe Weller. Joe,
what do you think of Joe?
I mean, I think we saw, like you just said, the experience of Ham come through towards the end. It shone through. Once he connected a couple of times, I feel like it was almost as though Jeremy's not really felt power like that. It completely threw him off, if anything.
Yeah.
He didn't want to be there. He didn't want it anymore. And yeah, for me, Ham takes that one.
we're seeing the importance here of a sparring partner who's going to push you to the very edge.
Correct.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And maybe...
I just think sometimes you can get in there and realise maybe you made a mistake. Do you know what I mean? It felt a bit like that.
Very good point. Well, throughout the night, we're going to see True Geordie talking to the winner of the fight. We're about to hear the result as well. The referee stands in the middle. He's going to welcome both fighters back to the centre of the ring in just a second. Both of them just getting their head guard off, getting a little breather before the result is announced. We think we know which way this one's going to go, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
The boys are in place.
it's good to see them having a little hug afterwards.
A bit of respect between
After
the two
everything,
teams.
that's what it's about.
That's lovely. That's lovely. And the crowd applause. There's a warm smattering. That's almost a golf clap, isn't it? There. So,
Yeah.
as if the ball's just
Cricket. I was thinking cricket.
cricket. Yeah, yeah. It ripples around the arena, doesn't it? It's lovely.
Mind you, it's filling up in here now, I tell you.
It certainly is.
Ladies and gentlemen, 3 rounds, and we go to the judges' decision, scoring about 30-27 in favor of your winner in the red corner,
Yeah, there we go.
Fair enough. Well done.
Both of you called it, guys, and it looked inevitable towards the end of the fight, didn't it? True.
Yeah, it certainly did, mate, and credit to the boy. I think that little bit of boxing experience paid off in the end. I'm going to have a word with him. I'm going to let you carry on.
A little bit of interview experience at this point from True Geordie. Well, Joe, at this point when the fight's finished, you don't want to have any regrets. You don't have any regrets, do you?
I think that's the main thing. I think leaving that ring feeling like you could have done more or you didn't perform to the best of your ability from experience is not ideal, and I think these guys fully did give it a go.
Well, here is True Geordie with Halal Ham.
said that he thinks Logan Paul could be Conor McGregor.
Not in a fight, I said.
I just can't wait
In
to
the
eat
MMA
fucking
fight,
food no more. No. I've been dieting for 6 weeks. No burgers, no fried chicken, no curry. Still, it's restricted. I just can't wait to eat now. Massive shout out to Jeremy. He did amazing. And you get the bastards. There we had it.
What was it that got you the win?
Pardon?
What was it that got you this win?
I trained a lot longer. I trained a lot harder. That was it, just training.
Congrats, mate. The winner, Halal Ham. Well done.
Deserved early on there, Joe.
Yeah, 100%.
Good to see the winner of that fight, obviously gifted the oh, hello. Halal was going to do a little shout out there, but it didn't happen in the end.
Wow.
Over to you,
what
Julia.
the first fight that was. I don't know. I mean, seeing these guys kind of come in the ring and knowing that they haven't had as long to train, you sort of thought like, oh, they'll just kind of come in, do a little bit of this, and get out. But my goodness, they totally went for it.
I told you to go for it. You know, you've got to remember a show of this magnitude, the amount of people that are watching on YouTube, the amount of people that are in the arena.
Yeah,
it's an immense amount of pressure. I knew they would both go for it. I mean, you got to give them both credit. They both went for it. One was a lot heavier than the other guy as well. They stuck in there. They put on a great show.
That, though? Like in terms of weight, I know
It's massively important. The weights, you know, 2 or 3 pounds either way is not really a big difference. But when you start getting into the category of a stone, half a stone, then it's a lot of weight. And I think
it's about 4 kilograms in between like the weights. Is that right? Am I
yeah, absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
So there was different weights in there, and I think you could see it was evident as the fight was going on. The heavier guy was pushing forward and starting to wear his opponent down. So you know, weight is a massive part of it, and I think that also you got to remember there was. Let's talk about the point system in these contests.
So what's happening? So it was 30-27. How did these matches actually score? Because normally, like you think boxing, they just knock them to the floor, the end. But it's not. It can be a lot more technical.
So it's a 10-point must system. So the winner of each one, so the winner of each round will get 10 points.
Right.
The loser will get 9 points.
Okay.
In the event of a knockdown, the loser of the round will then get 8 points.
Okay.
If there's 2 knockdowns, it will be 7 points.
Right.
So that's how the fight scored. So his opponent, so the winner there won every round 10-9 because there was no knockdowns.
So 30-27.
30-27 makes sense, yeah. If there was a knockdown in say the second round, it would have been 30-26. You know, and if it would have been 2 rounds to 1, 29-28.
Change the title, please.
That's how the scoring system works.
Okay, so but then how do they work out if both guys are still standing? Like, how do they work out who actually wins each round? Like, how's that work?
I think that's just by the eye really. You just judging on who you think's won and landed the cleaner shots.
Are they literally counting? Are they counting the hits or how good the hits?
Well, they're just looking at who's dominant over the round. I think it's plain to see, like when you're watching a contest and you can see one guy slightly getting better than the other guy, he will win the round 10-9. I think that's why it's judging can be sometimes controversial because one guy will see it one way, another guy will see it another way. So there's no, everybody sees fights differently, and I think that.
And there's no like VAR system for this.
No, there's no system for it. It's just what one guy thinks is. What he thinks is going to win the contest. That's what the score is.
Wow, that's a lot to kind of take on board there. But we are going to chuck over to our commentators for our very next undercard match. Over to you guys.
Well, yeah, the very next undercard is the very next undercard. It's looking like a good one. It's Momo versus Rossi HD.
There's a little bit of an interesting story about this one because, to my knowledge, Momo's trained all of 7 days. But Rossi's been taken this seriously for quite a few months.
Really?
So we might see a bit of a mixed bag in this one. In theory, you'd expect Rossi to have a good showing.
Massively step up, yeah.
Mind you, if Momo comes in and looks good even after 7 days and pulls off the upset, then Rossi's going to be kicking himself, isn't he?
I mean,
pressure's on in that respect.
Yeah, because obviously some of these YouTubers are taking up to keep themselves fit as well, and some of these guys are taking up because they want to be real boxers.
I mean, yeah, I think add on top of that, they're doing it for all of this. I mean, 7 days notice, but you get to have your name put in front of all these guys. I feel like maybe Momo for that reason.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen his adverts such reliable times, so that's what I think of when I think of his name. I've seen his adverts.
I've never actually purchased any cheap and reliable coins.
Definitely not, mate, because we're good boys and we love gaming companies.
We love gaming companies, quite true. But there's some big audiences out there, aren't there? 1.4 million subs.
Momo's got 1.4 million, Rossi's got 730,000 subscribers.
Well on his way to a million.
And Momo said his most memorable sporting memory was playing football in African mud.
Wow.
So,
do you think that was imported or he was actually in the mud in Africa?
I'm assuming he was in Africa.
I'm sure.
And what was Rossi's? Scored at Wembley twice for the first Wembley Cup.
Yeah.
So we've got two lads who've got very different sporting backgrounds.
YouTubing pedigree, though, you might say. They're similar to what Joe had,
I've just read Momo's prediction for the fight is that he's going to lose.
What?
Right.
Self-deprecating. Maybe he's just sort of putting that out there so that the pressure's off him. But the pressure really is off him.
Well, the interesting side is Rossi's reply is Momo's excuses are the thing that annoy him the most about his opponent. No one wants to hear excuses.
Rossi is a sneaky prick.
Yeah. I didn't know if you could say that.
I've just said it, mate.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be an interesting one, this. It sounds like there's a little bit of a... Rossi's prediction was me winning the first, maximum a second. I can't see it going the distance.
No, and that's probably reasonable, isn't it? Right?
100%. I mean, for me, obviously, a guy that's got at least more than 7 days experience, I mean, I can't believe that. You've got to believe Rossi's going to do it.
Yeah.
You've got to believe it. I mean, surely, right?
All it takes is a punch, lads. That's it.
All it takes is, I mean, like we saw, maybe the aggression, the technique might not be there, but what if he possesses aggression, Momo does?
Well, Rossi
throws Rossi off.
Rossi isn't the biggest of lads, and I'm just looking here at their weight.
No, we don't actually have the weights for these guys. This is the only fight that we don't have the stats on. Mainly because it came together so late.
Oh, it was last minute, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
That's right.
If you're going to take a fight, make sure it's a last minute one because it makes it more fun, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
You were prepared to turn up last minute, weren't you? You were offering everyone.
I got to the point, I was like, you know what, let's do it. I think, if anything, not having the pressure of 6 months of training may have been
just rocked up, let's have fun.
Yeah. A bit more fun, and that may help.
But you said your training has sort of broken you down. Mentally,
it's all good.
Normal
Hey, someone said thanks for streaming, G.
Might benefit off that.
We don't know.
It's going to be
It's going to be great.
50 people just saw his face.
See it live.
50 people.
It is going to be exciting now, isn't it? Because it's literally seconds away from the fight at this point.
We've got the predictions, lads, for the main event for both of these boys. Momo said KSI.
Don't worry, I'll stream all day for you.
And Rossi said JJ will win. and he has no idea on the other one.
Well, we're about to find out who's going to win this fight here. It's Momo versus Rossi.
No, I am.
HD,
I want to get 100
favourite
views.
in this fight. Oh, it's the second of the undercards.
Now, set to make his way to the ring, presenting Mo, the Black Panther, Izzy!
B-R-E-S-H-E-A-T-E.
Cracking haircut.
No, I like that. I love the attitude. You can tell he doesn't feel pressure, can't you?
Feet well.
He's just sit down right in
Cut back to. Doesn't seem too much pressure on him.
Maybe that might help him.
A lot of sharp haircuts out there tonight, aren't there?
Oh yeah. I was even beefing the people at home through the lens.
No, I've got 11 viewers.
What happened? You sat on the remote before.
You just sat on the remote.
We're having technical difficulties. I'm very sorry about that.
Yeah, there will be when I report it.
Yeet. Oh, everyone's leaving.
Imagine it makes you rebuy it.
No, it won't. No, that's not the one.
That's
That's the one that I was. Rice gum.
Harry, move your bag.
which one? It was there.
Oh my god. What is going on?
Mate, they're saying, you know, they're committed.
Where's the K?
It's because there's a 2-minute delay.
No, there isn't.
Everyone
It's like
leave.
5 seconds.
Everyone leave.
Don't leave.
He's not putting it back on. We accidentally clicked on and he's not putting it on. Leave. 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 How long do you have? What did you set the delay time to?
It's like 10 seconds. One more person join. I wonder if it's
Controlling the ring. He's almost prowling around, isn't he?
Marking his territory. Wait, what's Momo doing?
Oh. Well, it is a full
Harry,
Wow.
put on the TV.
Can't we, maybe not.
Once the referee breaks up, that's a little bit silly, but
Opening talent. We are set for 3 2-minute rounds of boxing. And introduce first to the corner. 22 years of age, he weighed officially at 165.5 pounds. He hails from Togo, but fights out of Dallas, Texas, presenting Mo, the Black Panther, Izzy.
you gotta love that personality, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
Soaking it in.
24 years of age, weighing officially 140 pounds even. He fights out of Chippenham, Wiltshire, presented Rossi HD.
He's an old school FIFA player.
One of the first wave. Not even put his head guard on yet.
Sorry, is he not wearing a head
Oh
guard?
no, but he has to, surely.
Does he?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. There you go, there's the head guard.
Oh, okay.
British law.
Doesn't seem like his team were
Everybody's
prepared
having
for that.
changed the
Yeah.
But maybe he's just so laid back.
Then
he doesn't
again,
feel like he needs it.
KSI forgot his head guard for our fight.
Did he?
They had to run and get one.
So you ended up with swapping, didn't you?
Yeah.
You had his on and he had yours.
Yeah, correct.
Foreboding almost.
Ooh.
Oh, bit of foreshadowing in this fight. Will it be the same
Rossi.
in this? Wow.
Old school FIFA lad.
I'm watching Momo dance. I'll be interested to see if his footwork is on point in the same way as his dancing feet are. Yeah.
I mean, they say that. I was told that when I actually started. Like, if you can dance, it does actually help you with your boxing movement.
Yeah.
So
Were you
maybe.
dancing?
I mean, oh god, only in Cameo back in Eastbourne.
Yeah. You got some moves. Cameo 4 AM. You can catch Joe. They weren't open till 4 AM. Close at 3. He had to walk home himself.
I'm expecting the fitness levels to be a bit better in this one as well.
Both these guys.
These are light guys, you know, they're not 10 stone.
Yeah, I mean, you can already see. I mean,
not carrying a lot of weight on the.
Momo's not worried about gassing himself out before the fight.
It's literally dancing.
Yeah. I think he's taken Fortnite almost a little too literally. Do you know what I mean?
He loves the Fortnite.
Team Maverick have just entered ringside for the record, boys.
Big guys. Big guys. Fed on Ohio corn.
Someone just said, what's the camera tilt
What all
at?
the Texas corn?
The ref brings them together, giving their instructions out. Listen to me at all times.
Hello, what's up, free touch button, we're ready to go.
Come on, boys. Let's make this official.
I wonder if he has a channel called Rossi 4K.
Shield. Round one's on the way.
Let's have it, boys.
Here we go. Going forward, touch gloves. Ooh.
Rossi swings
It's
early.
still bad. Look how bad it is.
I'm not convinced by the. I'm not convinced by Momo's sort of.
Demeanor?
It's so good.
Oh, right, okay. We disguise it with this kind of fight.
It's like MVP.
Yeah.
Oh! Did you connect?
Dodging well there from Rossi. Rossi actually replied with his own little taunt.
At least they can actually walk.
Swinging wildly.
Energy looking high early on, but how long will it last?
Almost gone for it.
He is.
I'm better than
Whoa!
Momo answers. Rossi keeping that guard up.
The skinnier guys' body shots are going to do more here, aren't they?
Rossi changing stance. Momo just showing swag.
Love the use of the phrase swag there.
This might be
Back of the head.
this might be the type of fight where when boxing fans watch this, like, say, told you,
Yeah.
told you. Do you know what I mean?
There's dads at home watching with their kids on a widescreen TV going, these guys aren't serious, are they, son? They can't be serious for this sort of thing.
Oh, good shot from.
But then they'll see punches like that.
The thing is,
Oh, that was a big cut round of
wobbled Momo there. But Momo comes straight back at him. He's walking straight ahead, and he's landing.
I want more dancing.
At the moment, it's hard to
I credit to Momo. He took a big one there, and he comes straight ahead afterwards.
Yeah.
Rossi's thrown a lot, but he is leaving himself wide.
Yeah. And then he's punched with
For 7 days, Momo's like miles off it, does he?
Not at all. Not at all.
He looks like one of those natural athletes, doesn't he?
He's walking straight in, and this is non-stop pressure from Momo. He's looking decent.
Momo does actually keep switching stances from southpaw to orthodox though.
Oh, and that is a big shot from Rossi.
End of the round there.
That was a right hook from Rossi, and it looked like he was potentially going to go to sleep.
He ended the round very well
Can we
there.
just say, Momo's got a chin, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Because he
absolutely.
took a couple of big ones there, and he just kept going.
It's interesting though because he was obviously quite dazed after a couple of those shots.
Yeah.
Managed to come back.
No, respect it. 7 days, he's turned up, and he's taken a couple of big shots.
He's slowly going to wear down though throughout the fight, isn't he? You saw that big fight, yeah, big shot.
The thing is, there was a period there where I thought, wow, Momo's not, he's actually the aggressor here.
Yeah.
But then the experience of Rossi's training paid off there because he just whacked him in the chin, didn't he?
Saw his legs wobble a bit after that one.
A couple more of them and this is over basically.
Yeah.
For sure.
Both of the fighters there, of course, early on were taunting the other. Those taunts went as they felt the punches hit, didn't they?
The thing is, the last time there was no knockouts and people turning up for
I'll
a
change
little
the
laugh here
time to that 100
probably
views.
stop that once people get knocked clean out because it's like, actually this is serious.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true. Someone just said it, yeah, they've got. Ooh.
Someone in
Oh,
our
not back from Momo. He's landing. He's going for it.
These two boys don't look any bigger than your legs, Brian.
That's true. I've got 34-inch legs back there. Thighs.
The waist of a small man.
Honestly,
I just can't get over this confidence from Momo. Like,
I'm 32. I'm 30 waist.
I'm 27.
Answer's back.
You've got 34 thighs.
Straight right hand.
That
There you
is
go,
sick.
switching stances.
Rossi's swinging and missing. Momo mugging him right off. And to be honest with you, Momo's looking pretty good here after taking that big shot in the first round.
Leaving that head out there over and over again.
This is what we said about making a name for yourself. You want to entertain the people. These are all entertainers. They're not athletes. But that is decent for Momo. He's putting the pressure on Rossi. He circles out. And then Rossi is clapping him. But Momo.
I see Evan. I saw Evan.
He looks tough, doesn't he? He just looks like he's unstoppable. Just keeps going, keeps sustaining those punches over and over again.
Straight out again. Straight left. Right hook following.
I just lands it on the back of the shoulder blade there.
It's got to be quite unpredictable for Rossi, where Momo 1 second is dancing, then he's taking it deadly serious. It's very weird.
I listened to an interview with Mike Bisping once where he said sometimes he prefers fighting and sparring fighters who've had 2, 3, 4 years experience than someone who's had 6 months, because the predictability is not there with a novice as it is with an experienced fighter, because you know that they're going to be textbook.
Absolutely.
Good straight right from Momo.
The lights must be quite intense out there when you get out there, Joe. You've got everyone looking at you. Do you feel that pressure in the middle of the ring?
Well, I definitely did. I mean, it doesn't seem like Momo is, though. I mean, the state of him, he seems so relaxed. Almost like arrogant in a way.
I kind of feel like first round, with those big shots landed, maybe Rossi edged it, but Momo probably gives the second to because of the pressure there.
Yeah. So it's 1-on-1 right now. This one could be the decisive round. Yeah.
But it seems like Momo's growing into the fight. I'm really shocked by this, to be honest.
Really?
After everything we've read and been told by the boys, it's obviously behind the scenes when they know you're commentating, a lot of the lads tell you things. They're like, Rossi's been doing this for months and months and months. Momo's just turned up on a whim. Even Momo's written down, he's going to lose. But
if you make yourself the underdog.
Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to. It doesn't matter what you look like, what you've been saying on social media, nothing. It's how you perform here.
Yeah.
Who's thriving here? For me, it's Momo.
It's not the most mature fight between the two of them, is it?
It's better than the first one, I'd have to say, though. And there's been some big shots landed, and it's been a bit more Hollywood.
In amateur boxing, though, it is about making the most of your attributes. And if one of Momo's attributes is his personality, it is the way he's taunting his opponent, he's using it well.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, third and final round here. They've got 2 minutes to make a count.
All right, let's have it. We want to see a big one.
Yeah, it's turning into a right brawl.
Both of them trying to play to the referee a little bit here. He's pushing me around, no, he's pushing me around.
Rossi circling out again. Momo walking forward with confidence.
Winding up a fist.
Good shot, good left hand from Momo.
Very unpredictable from Momo.
He's switching stances, he's doing all sorts.
Nice.
You shouldn't be talking to the referee when someone's walking straight at him, ready to throw. Like, that shows fear to me.
Yeah.
Momo's landed a couple of times on the glove of Rossi in HD. If you're hearing smacks at home.
There's a little bit of a slip on one of the ring advertisements there from Rossi, which wouldn't have helped his confidence.
Got to get that out of your head
Rossi
quickly.
going for some body shots. Momo just walking straight ahead. Going for the big shots. Jab. Oh, and a good answer from Rossi. But still, nothing from Momo. No weakness shown.
But Rossi has technically landed more good punches in this third round, hasn't he? Do you think that's going to play in his favour?
I still feel like we're waiting for something to nail this down here.
Do you think the judges will reward technical ability?
I mean, yeah, you would have thought so, but
it seems even to me right
now.
now.
I can't call it personally.
Momo, the right hand, Rossi circles out. That's one thing he's done well. When he's been in trouble, Rossi, he's got himself out of there.
Certainly so, certainly so.
He needs to turn his back though.
Pushing him into the ropes there.
As this fight goes on, maybe Momo seems to be growing still. Straight ahead.
Both of these guys must just be counting down the seconds until they finish here, surely at this point.
I think it gets to a point where you're just, that pain almost from being tired kicks in.
He's turned his back to him, and that's the end of the third round.
And maybe that might just be enough for Rossi to come away with a W there.
I think he will have just pushed himself over the edge there, won't he, Joe?
I mean, I think so. It got to a point where I thought, has he run out of ideas? Can he just not work out Momo? But I think he went, you know what, stuff this, and he went for it. And I think a few of those technical shots that got in there paid off.
You've got to
credit that. He might have just edged it for me.
Yeah. Do you agree with that, Jordy?
Yeah, I've got to give credit to Momo. I thought he did like really well considering he's just turned up on the day and gave it a whirl. And maybe if he'd actually trained for the fight, he might have won this because I think he showed a little bit of something in the previous rounds. Like
You got to credit that personality, haven't you?
yeah, he's I like the taunting, to be honest. I really hope in the big fights that when the time's right, we see a little bit of that. You know what I mean?
You want to see the
I'm
personality.
thinking of Dead Sheet and Jake Paul, by the way.
Yeah.
I've got to say, the rivalry between those two is white hot. Like, you know, it's borderline hatred. And I think if we see them two maybe giving it to each other, it would entertain me.
There's 4 more fights between then and now.
I might need to go to the toilet before that.
I mean, that's absolutely. We've got a couple of breaks between now and then. There's a bucket under the table if you do
No,
need
thank
to.
you. I wouldn't want everyone here to
Witness that.
no.
Yeah.
They've paid good money, and I want them to get a quality show.
That's a very good point. Although some people, anyway.
So, who do you think won Lawrence?
I'm going Rossi HG on that one.
Really?
All day, Joe. Yeah.
True, Jordy?
I think Rossi won that.
Yep.
Just.
You in agreement as well?
Yeah, I do think. I think he just edged it. Good to see a bit of respect afterwards.
Bit of respect towards you as well, there, Joe.
Yeah, he gave me the eyes.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Maybe he's enjoying your hair in the same way you're enjoying his hair.
Beautiful head of hair.
Just 2 guys appreciating each other's hair. Will the guy with 1.4 million subs take
Ladies
it?
and gentlemen,
Let's see.
this is 3 rounds, and we go to the judge and referee scorecard. Scoring about 29-28, seeing the bout in favor of your winner in the blue corner, Momo.
Wow.
Oh wow! The 7-day man does it. Wow.
Rossi will be upset by that. You were talking about an upset. You have to go talk to this guy now, True Geordie. What are you going to say to him?
I mean, I think it was close anyway, but that is what that worries me about. The reason I'm worried, guys, is the main events. We need a good decision for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Rossi is coming out of the ring now. There's a medal there to be won that True Geordie will be presenting in just a second. We're going to see him talking to Momo live by the ring. Momo stepping out, coming down the side here.
They're gonna show them.
I think honestly, the confidence he showed there actually did contribute quite a lot. The fact that he was the aggressor a lot, he was the one coming forward. I think maybe that's why it edged it for him in the eyes of the judges. Maybe.
You can see, look at that energy as he's coming out of the ring. A lot of people are going to be surprised by that. He's walking down to True Geordie, who's right down the side of the ring talking to Momo.
Respect, mate.
I'm feeling great. Listen, I didn't have much training. I look like a skinny Somali. But I still touch the sauce and walk the
That's trademark, by the way, that's KSI's. But what made you the winner today, mate? What got it done for you, do you think?
That little boy over there, he's good though, but he's scared of me. I'm from the jungle, bro. I just scared of somebody like me. I ain't had no training. I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna play the mind tricks like him and knock him out. He didn't get knocked out. What's he doing? I'm doing that.
Congratulations, mate. Your winner, Momo.
Oh, you love to see characters like that out there, don't you, Joe? That's just lovely.
I mean, that was. He literally seems like he does this. Like, this is what he does. I'm from the jungle. You don't mess with me. Like, wow. Fair enough. That is, yeah, for me, I was not expecting that.
I feel like a very different match right there. Because when you're talking with a couple of guys, you know, they haven't got a huge amount of muscle on them. They're got long reach. There's a lot of wasted energy going on there. A lot of flailing arms.
There was a lot of wasted energy, and I want to explain why that wasted energy was. They was fighting really like they was in the street or in a pub. They was throwing shots.
Like that was a 2 a.m. fight.
Absolutely, they was throwing shots from out wide, and it would have been quite simple just to keep their hands tight. Straight through the middle. They would have reserved some energy and made things a lot easier for themselves. But that's just what it's like really at the beginning. You've got to give the guys credit for getting in here in front of all these fans. Technically, not quite there yet, but listen, it was great entertainment put on a show.
It was very much so, and also like Momo as well was doing some like we were talking before a little bit about mind games, and generally we were talking about it like outside of the ring, but he was like straight in the ring, like looking over here and then trying to smack on the other side. He was really trying to play with him.
He was playing with his mind, and it worked a couple of times. It did work because Rossi, he was getting frustrated. We saw that he was losing his head a little bit. He was looking at the referee, complaining. That's the first signs of frustration.
Yeah.
So, you know, it worked. It worked.
I mean, although it sort of seemed quite relaxed, and Rossi seemed like very much like he was taking it very seriously. I mean, is that kind of saying about like, you know, if you go into your job and you're relaxed, you do kind of your best work? Is boxing a bit like that? Have you just got to be quite cool and calm?
Yeah, I think you've got to be cool and calm, but I think Momo just was confident in his ability. He felt confident from the opening bell, and he just started, he was just edging around. So it was not a lot in it, to be fair. Izzy was in the fight as well. Yeah, 29-28. I had the rounds very close. I had it like, could have possibly been a draw. I think the judges, Momo was showboating, he was doing this clowning around, and I think that's what might have caught the eye.
I mean, I suppose if you're judging everything just on the eye, then if there is a bit of showboating and confidence, and that must sway your opinion as a judge.
Well, I think some judges it possibly does. I think when the judges are seeing a guy and he's oozing confidence, it sort of catches the eye a little bit more maybe sometimes, and in a close round, that may swing it.
So I have a question. So if someone, you know, if these guys, you know, who are watching the stream out here, like out in the world, were basically going to go and, you know, watch boxing matches, what's the difference between like a really heavyweight fight and like a bantamweight fight? Like in terms of, are they very similar fights? Do they fight differently?
No. So bantamweights, the smaller guys, like guys like my sort of size, they like to throw lots of punches in bunches, accumulate punches in bunches, you like that? Accumulations of shots. Whereas the heavyweights are looking for that one big shot, you know, a heavyweights, one shot lands, it can be all over. Whereas the lighter guys look to systematically break guys down, and the fights tend to go longer.
Do you find that like boxing fans tend to just sort of have a preference over what kind of weight class that they watch? Or do they kind of mix it up a bit?
Well, I think the heavyweights has always been a favourite. I think everybody, if you talk about, you know, the history of boxing, people, the casual fans, they'll always mention a heavyweight, whether you go back to the Frank Bruno days, Mike Tyson days, and more recently Anthony Joshua. You know, I think the heavyweights. There you go. There you go. You're talking about it. So the heavyweights generally are the more popular weights.
So I mean, even like thinking back to like Frank Bruno, he was a very kind of like kind-hearted guy. Do you often find that boxers tend to be quite nice guys? Because again, Anthony Joshua, Klitschko, he like Vladimir Klitschko. I actually saw a really interesting thing on BBC Three where they actually brought them back together. You can actually see it on YouTube. It's fascinating. And obviously, Anthony Joshua beat him. And they actually went back to sort of talk about the actual fight after the fact. Because you know, this raises another question. How much do you remember when you're in the ring? Because
let's break this down. So you were talking about a fight there with Anthony Joshua and Klitschko. These guys, you know, there was very mutual respect in the build-up to that fight. I was lucky enough to be there live ringside, and those guys went through hell and back. I mean,
Joshua got knocked down.
Yeah, but not only knocked down, he was knocked down heavily and he was hurt. He came through it. And then he took the fight to Klitschko, and he stole Klitschko's heart. Klitschko thought, what have I got to do to win this contest? Joshua obviously eventually winning, but that was a really thrilling fight, and one of the best heavyweight fights you'll see.
Well, I mean, in this like BBC Three thing, basically, it slow-mos it down to the point where he gets that uppercut. And like actually, Vladimir's basically saying like, you just got one in me, because you just see him get hit by it.
How good was the uppercut?
And then he was like, he couldn't come back from it, and then he was done.
Sure.
But I mean, it's so funny to like watch them come back and talk about the fight afterwards, and sort of think, oh, do you remember this bit?
Yeah.
I mean, how much do boxers actually kind of go and rewatch what they do?
Yeah, I think that as the fight's going on, you don't really remember a lot about what's going on, especially for these guys, by the way. When you've done it, you've been through the system, you've boxed as an amateur, and you've boxed in the Commonwealth Games, Olympic Games, turned professional, and gone through the layers, then you tend to remember more what's going on for a fight. When you've done it for the first time, I remember my first fight as an 11-year-old kid. I was 11. You had to be 11 to box, and I boxed on my 11th birthday. I boxed on my 11th birthday, and I went in there. I remember the bell ringing, and I remember coming back out. It was all a bit of a blur, and I think these guys are going to feel that this evening.
So you're 11. How can you remember that far back? Like,
trust me, when you're getting punched in the face, you remember.
Oh, because I mean, also, I think just even if you were to walk out in front of this crowd, like even if you didn't have to box at the end of like this walkway, I think that's pretty intimidating just on its own, walking out in front of a huge amount of people like this. That's not a mess with your head.
Listen, I was saying that. I mean, that's why you've got to give these guys, forget the boxing ability, forget the skill set. These guys haven't been doing it long, and you've got to give them the ultimate respect. Look at this place, it's packed. guys that are totally out of their comfort zone, you know, they're getting in there and boxing in front of these people. I've got like nothing but respect for these people.
Absolutely right. We are going to chuck over to. Oh, hello. Hi. Yeah, we're going to chuck over to the next fight, which is JMX versus Coach Richard for the commentators.
Well, next up is JMX versus Coach Richard.
Oh, it's getting a bit more tasty
now.
now.
It's starting to get serious. Now it's really starting to get serious.
Yeah, for the record, we just went for a little toilet break in the show, and I'm not going to say what happened to you. We walked past. We walked past. You might have flashed someone. I'll just leave that.
Right.
We walked past accidentally though. It wasn't.
Right.
He's not that type of bloke.
It was one of the ring girls.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
I didn't realise it was a unisex toilet.
That's genuinely true.
That is a story for your kids, isn't it?
This is a family-friendly show. Moving on. Are we just seeing Jake Paul and Logan Paul backstage?
How they looking?
Composed, calm, no stress at all, to be honest with you. But serious is the word I think I used.
The callers out there will be thrilled to hear.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people are nervous for their favourite YouTuber right now. And we have to acknowledge stateside, the people watching this will be wanting Logan.
So this is the thing. I kind of grew up idolising fighters. That's why I do a lot of fight content. And when you first watch your favourite fighter get hurt in a ring, it's quite heartbreaking actually, because you hero worship these guys, especially fighters, and you just want to see them win. And I think it's going to be a very new feeling for someone out there tonight who has, out of Logan and JJ's fan bases, that's all they are. These guys are winners, and one of them, for the first time in the eyes of their fans, is going to be a loser. It's going to be hard to take.
I'll tell you a little story from last time, the Copper Box Arena.
Tell me the story.
Where, and it's a lovely story, where Joe fought JJ.
Yeah.
Everything finished, and there was a mass of girls waiting behind the barriers that you can see behind us on camera here. Sobbing, some of them, so upset that you've been beaten, and also some of them so happy, but just overjoyed that JJ had won. And they were just sobbing afterwards, and they didn't know what to do with that emotion. That's the kind of emotion we're seeing here tonight. People who have emotionally invested in these guys and gone, I'm going to base my life around what this person's saying on YouTube.
100%.
That's pretty touching.
I mean, even like, you can feel it in here, like, it's a very strange, like, I feel this sort of emotion on a daily basis. This is a very unique feeling. Do you know what I mean?
Especially to YouTubers, because I suppose for us YouTubers, our day-to-day lives, we make videos, and we're used to seeing the reaction of the fans, positive, it's happy. Whereas I think Joe Rogan said it best when it comes to fighting. It's critical thinking with dire consequences, and that's what we're going to see today. And it's something that is totally different to what these guys are used to.
Well, let's think critically about what you can see on your screen right here. It's JMX versus Coach Richard up next. One 20-year-old against someone who's 31. That is 11 years experience, one of the other.
But the size difference
is huge.
evens that out.
Yeah,
the thing is,
6'5".
JMX is a very athletic boy, but Coach Richards was an actual athlete professionally, Olympic level, 100-meter sprinter if I'm not mistaken.
And he's a two-time European gold medalist.
So we're not going to see someone at a massive disadvantage the way I feel like JMX's last opponent was in terms of athleticism. 202 pounds versus 185 pounds.
How much of a difference is that going to make?
Well, it's a whole stone and then some.
Wow.
Athletically speaking, I feel like they're well matched. It's just a case of, can Coach Richards close the distance, because that jab of JMX worked wonders last time. I remember he just walked around that ring, just jabbed in the face.
9 inches of distance difference in the reach.
And we all know that's a lot.
I mean, that is a lot. That's sizable, isn't it? Yeah. And basically, when you're looking at that, do you think the Coach Richard will have trained in order to deal with that?
Now, the way I feel, Richard will be looking at it is he's got to get when JMX throws that jab, left-hand jab, he's got to duck either side of it and get on the inside. That's the only place.
He's got to slip it.
Yeah, that's the only place that Richard's going to have any luck. He's on that inside where he's almost smothering JMX, just getting those body shots, and obviously on the chin if he can. But
Mike Fox had a little bit of joy with that last time. Mike Fox just sort of chased JMX around the ring, and I think that Coach Richards should look at that and think, all right, Mike Fox isn't the athlete I am. How could I expose that weakness a little bit? The only thing is, that was last time JMX will have been working on tying up those holes, especially with a coach like Vidal Riley behind him, who will have focused in on that.
So Vidal will be very key behind that as well, technically bringing him up to another
and Coach
level.
Richard has only had 2 weeks training on boxing, so as much as he's an athlete, is that enough when JMX has been training boxing for months?
One thing you are missing though, True Geordie, is that Coach Richard has farted in JMX's bed. That's one of the stats. Yeah, genuinely, it says it here on my notes. He's farted.
You don't
in
get
JMX's
this
bed.
on Sky. Can we just say that?
Because most of the time, most athletes don't get into their bed and have wind.
No.
This is it.
Most of the time.
No.
A lot of YouTubers share beds. Tell us more about that, Joe.
It says there's one time in Calux's bed, I actually can't say,
Right.
but it was very inappropriate.
Right, okay. Of course, Joe here, the one who's anyway.
Under strengths, Coach Richard, he's used to dealing with pressure. He's used to stadiums. He's used to the big crowds, and I think that could play dividends to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. I mean, obviously, I was going to say, yeah, JMX has been here and done it before, but yeah, Richard is used to this environment. If anything, Richard could look at JMX's last tape, the tape of his match, and be able to analyse, like you said, pick apart the different weaknesses he may have. Whereas, go on.
We've got the things about them that annoy them the most about each other. JMX says he's sick of Richard trying to beg the underdog card. And Richard says clickbaiting, especially using Tegan to clickbait. That's what annoys me.
That's an interesting piece of feedback on both YouTube channels there. Certainly interesting.
Very different YouTube channels. Coach Richard's 13,000,
Yeah.
JMX 2.5 million.
I think the numbers speak for